Welcome. It is an exciting time for us as we open Fred Roberts Middle School. We're looking forward to your presence as students. I think you're going to have a wonderful experience here with the teachers and the staff here at the school. They are anxious for your arrival and ready to begin a great school year. Parents, we thank you for sharing your children with us. We're excited about what this school will do in our school district and the contributions it will make toward education in the Pasadena ISD, and we know that as your children move through this campus, they will be very successful and continue on through their studies to be successful young men and women. So we're excited about this year. There's an old song that started off, "This is the start of something big." And I think this is the start of something big here at Fred Roberts Middle School. It's going to be a great year, and it's going to be an exciting time for all of us in this district, watching this campus grow and mature and become everything that we want it to be. It's also exciting that we have named this school after our Board of Trustee member, Fred Roberts. Mr. Roberts has been a longtime servant of this school district and very easy to work with, very kid-centered. Very much interested in the education of our students and providing them all the resources and information they need to be successful at whatever they do. Whether they leave here and go on through junior high and high school and eventually into the workforce or college, we know that they will be successful, and that's his goal and his plan for every student that enters our district. And I know he is as excited as we are that this campus is going to serve the students of this community in a very real and positive way. So we welcome you. We're excited to have you here and looking forward to a great school year with you.
Welcome to Fred Roberts Middle School, and that's a big name for me because a lady named Jane Roberts and a man named Alan Roberts had 7 kids. And of those 7 kids, the 7th one was named Fred Roberts, which just happens to be me. Now, my friends will tell you they cannot believe this. I got calls one after another when this was put in the paper and so on and so forth, and my friends were going, hey, how'd you do this? What exactly did you do? And I said, well, to be truthful, I don't know that I did anything. I said, but it's, I guess, because I've been in Pasadena so long. To give you an idea, I grew up in Pasadena at 519 South Spooner. My phone number was GR26292, and feel free to call me at that number because that's not my number anymore. But anyway, so I grew up and I went to Cruz, Jackson, and Pasadena, and it was a great life. There wasn't a lot of wealth in town, but we didn't know there wasn't a lot of wealth. There was a lot of family. There was a lot of family. Now, all of us went to Pasadena schools, and schools were very important to my family. There were 3 things that our family based a lot of our stuff on. It was family, church, and community, and those were very important. And growing up, going to school at Cruz, I can remember my 1st grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Young. In fact, I believe there's a school named after her. And she, I remember she had fallen years before I got there, and she walked with a cane. But I was so impressed that first day I walked in there, because this was, before that time, the people who really cared for me were my mother and my 5 older sisters. I had so many good teachers. And a lot of people don't realize the difference that they're making in people's lives and so on and so forth by caring for children. The night that they voted on this school, I'll never forget. I remember thinking about, wow, how did this happen? And why is it me? And so on and so forth. And I was driving down the Beltway, heading back to South Belt. I thought about 3 people. One was my mother and my father. I thought of them as one. My mother had passed away 2 years prior to that. And I felt like I wish she had been there where I could have seen her smile. Because that would have been a way of saying, job well done. You did well. My dad, he was an individual that he didn't leave me a whole lot, but what he did leave me was a work ethic. The things that we receive in life from people are not always monetary. what we are given other than that, those things that we don't think a whole lot about, are sometimes more important than the monetary deals. Another thing I thought about was a friend of mine that I met in 8th grade. And I'll tell you, I met him in summer school, because let me tell you what, you have named a school after an individual that attended summer school. But I met this individual in 8th grade summer school, and he was struggling with some of the same things I was struggling with, but he made me feel important. Just be straight with you, dyslexia. I'm a dyslexic. I realize that, I know that. But when I was growing up, I didn't know how to spell dyslexia, didn't know what letter it started with. But after serving on the school board for 23 years, I know what dyslexia is. And this friend of mine, he struggled too. But he instilled in me that it doesn't matter. You're just as good as all these other people. You know, what I'm telling there is that disabilities are not an issue that should hold you back. Disabilities are something that you learn to work through. Another individual that on some of my darkest days told me, I'll never forget, on my darkest day, he told me, he said, Freddie, now you go out and do something important. He said, go out there and make a difference. And that was the third individual I thought about. I thought about the school, and I've watched the school come up, and I looked at these bricks and going up, and I've got to tell you that when I drive by this school and I look at it, I don't see Fred Roberts. I don't see Fred Roberts. It's on the sign, but what Fred Roberts is he is the final recipe of what a lot of people did in his life. So these bricks that are in this school are not about me. They're about all the people that made a difference in my life. One day, Jorley, the principal here, Jorley Thomas, he sent me a message, or I saw a message on the email address, and it said the Roberts family. And that blew me away. If you want to know what's important to me, family is important to me. And the fact that he used an email and it said Roberts family just was probably an emotional time for me, because families are so important. Now teachers, you don't have to go very far as in a manner that we need to hold up to the standards of Fred Roberts. You don't have to do that. But you do have to do a good job to the standards of my mom and dad, my sisters. This school has my name on it, but every brick on these walls have all those people, all those past teachers, all those ministers, all those great friends, and I've got great friends. They're the ones that these bricks symbolize to me, and every time I go by it, I think about somebody I knew and somebody I grew up with, and I'm very proud of this school. I'm very proud of you. You know, I know over at Dobie High School they talk about Dobie Pride, and that's a pretty neat deal, Dobie Pride, and you'll hear them hollering all the time. I hope that someday that when people holler something about Fred Roberts Middle School, they'll say Roberts family, because y'all will be part of my family. I will be here for you. I will be here for the administration. I will be here for the kids. Hopefully I'll be here when I'm 90 years old to come by the school and visit, and they can say, who's that old guy? They'll say, well, that's the guy they named the school after, and make a difference in these kids' life. And remember, like I told you earlier, I was that kid that was in the back of the room. I was the one struggling. I didn't know why, but I was the one struggling. It was only later in life that I understood it. But the nurturing of my family and the teachers and the educators are what made the difference in my life. You can do the same thing. Welcome to Fred Roberts Middle School, the Roberts family. Thank you.